lord, that thing stinks. Kind of reminds me of my... What was that for?
Abandoning the mission.
What mission? You dropped off the grid. My squad was scattered. And that?
For coming back. Thank you.
You did good, rookie. No doubt. We're not out of this yet. Captain, how about you hang back? Let us clear a path.
Agreed. I'll stay with the asset, give it close cover.
Well, alright guys, welcome back to the finale of Let's Play Halo 3 ODST, Final Mission, Coastal Highway. And already, we got our first obstacle, a Covenant watchtower performing Overwatch on the street.
Don't let that damn turret fire one more round!
Buck, that turret has us pinned. We can't advance.
Flank the watchtower, trooper, take it out!
So what I'm doing over here, there's some jackals, about 3 jackals and 2 brutes posted over here. It's good to take out as many as you can, especially the jackals, but usually the brutes will kind of hide behind cover, and it takes too long to kind of flush them out. Kind of like what's happening here. If they stay out in the open, you and Buck, you know, even with the nerf to kinetic weaponry in this game, against shields, you can take one out, but usually they hide, and when they hide, you can come up here. There is a little perch with a sniper rifle. Don't worry, the watchtower can't really hit you from over here for whatever reason. Maybe it's like a blind spot or something, so once you have an Overwatch position of your own, this becomes pretty easy because you can just, you know, sit here, kill any brutes that you see. Luckily, unlike the end of the last mission, this isn't really an escort mission because Dare and Virgil do a pretty good job of hanging pretty far back, and you do have Buck helping you, you know, infinite ammo, invincible, etc., etc. You've heard all this before. Just, you know, try and kill any brutes and grunts that you see. There aren't any more jackals in this part after the initial 3. Once you start getting low on ammo or you can't really see any more brutes, that's when you'll want to actually... You don't want to actually go the way you came. You'll want to go down this other hallway. You might be wondering why not snipe the grunts off the Covenant watchtower. Well, you'll see in just a minute. But if you come down here... That kind of like triggers a flag for Buck and Dare to start advancing, and that will distract the Overwatch tower so you can come over here, grab a rocket launcher, and get a nice triple kill, which is important. But that'll also bring in some more brutes from further along down the street, so you want to be ready for them. You could use the rocket launcher if you want. I prefer to hang back, because usually they have carbines and brute shots, so they're a little dangerous to kind of try and approach.
That's the last of them. Captain, let's move.
Where are we going exactly?
Waterfront highway. Fastest way out of the city.
You'll want to be a little careful and try not to suck up all the rocket launcher ammo, because you know, you'd want to be able to have one rocket launcher for Buck and then one for yourself. You might be thinking, you know, maybe give the rocket launcher to Dare, but you don't want to do that. You'll see why. Thinking about it in hindsight, you could give her the remaining sniper rifle.
Can't that thing move any faster?
All the shooting, it's frightened.
Want me to give it a little push?
What do you think?
Just trying to help.
I probably wouldn't do that anyway, but, you know, it's something you can do. I will say this is another level where the score requirement is very tight. It's 90,000 to get the par score. You heard right, 90,000.
This way. Should be an elevator right through here.
So I do have to kind of play a little faster than normal. I'll speak more on that. Well, I could speak a little bit on it now.
Sit tight. We'll need the alien to power on the switch.
Obviously, this part is very frustrating, because a big part of the score is the time bonus that you get. But the part time is actually really generous on this level. It's 25 minutes before your score starts counting down. It's the only ODST level, I think, with a reasonable part time.
Okay, we're all set. Hit it, rookie.
When did this happen?
They started showing up right before I went underground.
And you waited until now to tell me that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little busy making sure perfume over here didn't take around and blow us all up.
Eddie Buck, always thinking with his gun. You haven't changed one bit.
Me? What about you? Oh, so full of big Oni secrets, couldn't even give a guy a yes or no answer.
That's not fair.
Oh, you got that right.
I never thought I'd see you again.
Yeah? Well, here I am.
We need to move, now. Were you too busy to plan our exit?
I stole a Phantom, yes, thank you. I hid it in the shipyards down the highway. But I only have room for 2, so that thing's gonna have to sit on your lap.
The engineer. Where did it go? Keep me covered. And try to keep up.
Take my advice, rookie. Never fall for a woman. Make sure she's got balls.
Take the wheel, rookie. All right, shotgun.
And now comes the part of the mission that I've been dreading since I started this project. The Warthog section. Oh boy.
Hey, Captain? Pick a lane.
A little crowded in here. The engineer's doing something with the control circuits. Hey! Watch where you put that.
So as you can see, I immediately shunted Buck into the
I can't. Just stay out of our way.
passenger seat with the rocket launcher. I kicked him off that turret immediately. That's one thing you can do to make this part a lot easier. This part starts off pretty easy. It's mostly just a bunch of grunts, but there is one grunt with a fuel rod cannon you want to kind of watch out for. Oh man, there's a lot to go over.
Give the engineer a second to override the lock.
Alright, so this is
We're moving on.
kind of an escort mission. You do have to escort that Oliphant with Dare and Virgil inside. It does have health and it can die, and if it dies, it's a game over condition. However, it is quite tanky, so it's more likely that you'll die. The second area starts with a bunch of jackals. Once again, not so bad. But
What just happened?
I think the engineer found a way to extend its shield. Send a current to the outer plating. I don't know how strong the shields are, so stay close.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
alright. So yeah, that helps too. The Oliphant gets the overshield. It really is very tanky. Up here there's some brutes along with the jackals. They can be dangerous. The most dangerous thing that can happen to you on the first part of this highway are the spike grenades and the plasma grenades that get chucked around. You really want to watch out for those. Those can kill you instantly, as always. So, you may have played this level like maybe 10 years ago, and you remember it being pretty cool and cinematic, and it definitely is, but on Legendary, this level is a different beast. It becomes a lot more difficult and a lot more frustrating. Oh, real quick. Okay. There are 4 Covenant watchtowers here. 2 of them have fuel rod grunts inside of them, but it's random which 2. It's either watchtowers 1 and 3.
The slip space crater. The Covenant dig site north of the city.
It's either watchtowers 1 and 3 or watchtowers 2 and 4. So if you see grunts in the first watchtower, you'll know there's some in the third. Likewise with second and fourth. It's pretty easy to just get out. That's why you want a rocket launcher for yourself, so you can do things like that. And there's another section of the highway where you can get where the rocket launcher will be useful. Anyway, you want to grab a fuel rod gun for later. You'll see why. Although, if you've watched this walkthrough previously, you probably know. You might be wondering. Well, basically, we're going to give it to Buck and replace his rocket launcher because the AI is much better with the fuel rod gun. However, the Oliphant is kind of auto-advancing, and there's a very nasty trap waiting for you at the gate. The gate automatically opens when the Oliphant gets close, but that's bad because this is another drone encounter. If you leave the captain to her own devices, they will pretty quickly shred through her, but if you get too close, they'll pretty quickly shred through you, so you want to kind of get about to this spot, about where that car is. That's the perfect spot. Very, very consistent. You just hop into the Warthog turret and shred them. Now these segments, there's an invisible line that you have to cross to get that second gate open. So you can actually, what you can do is you can delay things by not crossing that line, and the Oliphant will just stay parked there, so you can do things like, you know, give Buck a fuel rod cannon. Now, what makes this part of the level so hard is that Buck is a complete moron. You may have noticed that so far. I mean, Halo-friendly AI always is, but there's a specific quirk about Buck that if you know it, you can play around it, but like either way it makes the level a lot more annoying. Basically, Buck will not fire his gun, either in the turret or like in the passenger's car. He will not fire his gun if he has like dialogue. If he's speaking, he will not fire his gun. And that can make this level extremely frustrating. Also, his aim is really bad. So this level is mainly about, you know, to put it in the most polite terms, tard wrangling Buck so that you can win, basically. Anyway, that was just another section with Covenant infantry, but that's the last easy section, because here... Yep, enemy ghosts. What do you want to do to deal with ghosts? Because they will shred you and kill you very quickly if you're out in the open. You want to kind of use the Oliphant as cover and keep pace with it. If you get too far in front, you will likely be killed, but if you get too far behind, the Oliphant will take too much fire and you'll get a game over either way. Also, try not to do that. This is probably the most difficult part of the level. Well, this and one other part. And, by the way, if you ever get to a section like this, you want to kind of clear out behind you, because enemies can and will follow you in between sections, especially enemies in vehicles. I guess some tips for you that will make this easier. The Warthog that you're in is actually invincible. So what you can do, if you're taking a lot of fire, you can quickly hop out, and you'll be safe.
Hold up! It's a Gauss Hog! Let's change vehicles!
You can quickly hop out, and then the Warthog will be invincible, and you'll be safe. Anyway, like Buck was saying, there's a Gauss Hog here. You want to... Okay, so weird kind of thing. You want to trade him the pistol, because if he has a power weapon like a rocket launcher or a fuel rod, he'll want to get in the side seat. But the AI on the Gauss turret is actually better than them with a rocket launcher or a fuel rod, especially because now you have to deal with Banshees, which are very hard to hit with a rocket launcher or a fuel rod. Right. So here we got some more Banshees and Ghosts. This part can be very, very difficult. Want to use the same strategy of kind of like hanging behind the Oliphant, not too close so you get shredded, but not too far so that, you know, the Oliphant takes all the fire. Oh, when I say when Buck is talking, what I mean is like it has to be like scripted audio log, like, you know, when the subtitles appear on the bottom of the screen. He won't fire his gun if he has like scripted dialogue. Anyway. Yeah, you can see I crossed the invisible line there, so I avoided doing that for a very long time while I did all my trading. I kind of know where the invisible line is.
Scare him.
I see it. Must have dropped out from one of those cruisers. Just keep driving. It hasn't spotted us.
Okay, now this part gets pretty crazy because there's a Wraith, and that does make your usual strategy of using the Oliphant as cover because, you know, the Wraith is pretty good at sniping you.
Here she goes.
That's something you definitely want to be careful of. One nice thing.
How the hell did you make it down this highway in one piece?
There weren't as many coming in last night.
And this is why you save the rocket launcher.
Up ahead. We need the extra firepower.
So if need be, you can get out and like kind of thin out the ghosts or like get the Banshees to break firing formation. But anyway, one nice thing about
There's the tank. Let's take it.
One nice thing about this part is that there's health packs at every one of those highway transitions, so health is really not... You know, you're either dead or you're not, basically. Now, you'll see here what I'm doing is I'm intentionally...
That's right, Trooper. We're gonna need that tank.
avoiding the trigger line because you have to drive over it to trigger it. And here is where you trade the pistol to give Buck back his power weapon. Otherwise, he'll get in the crappy Scorpion turret. You really want him on the side with a power weapon. But now this level gets a lot easier now that you're in control of the firing rate. Or targeting, or whatever you want to call it.
Phantom inbound!
Anyway, there's some shade turrets in this part, but the main threat up here is an anti-air wraith, but they actually put it on the ground and it's focused entirely on you. You really don't want to get in a fair 1v1 with that thing, because it can, it can rapid fire fuel rods. It can pretty quickly destroy you. So you want to kind of, get it to break its focus with using dare, and then you can finish off the anti-air wraith. And then that's pretty much the most dangerous thing in this part. After that, it's just a few more banshees and ghosts you gotta mop up. But in a Scorpion tank, they're no big deal. They're only really threatening when you're stuck in the crappy Warthog with Buck as a gunner. Anyway, like I was saying, that's a reason why you don't want to give the Buck the sniper rifle either, because it's technically a power weapon, so he'll, back when you're trying to, like, get him in and out of the Warthog, he'll prioritize the passenger seat when you want him on the Gauss turret. That's why you kind of got, this level's kind of hard in the sense that to, like, play it optimally, that I've found you kind of have to juggle power weapons and manage power weapons. Anyway, this level gets a lot easier when you know where that invisible trigger line is. It's like halfway through the screen. It's kind of hard to describe. You kind of got to get a feel for it. Anyway, this screen's pretty easy. 4 phantoms are going to come over that ledge there. Each of them is carrying 2 ghosts, but they're pretty easy to just snipe out of the sky like this. You want to aim for their engines and their backs. That's where their armor is the weakest, and you can blow them up pretty easily and get a lot of points that'll help a lot going towards that 90,000.
10 o'clock high! Look at the size of that!
I will say, those 2 ghosts that each phantom is carrying, those will be a problem for you later if you don't take care of them now. Basically, the next screen, for every phantom that you don't take care of right now, that's 2 ghosts that you have to deal with. So you really want to blow up all 4 phantoms if you can. But if you get a head start, start shooting them as soon as the one comes over the ridge. It's pretty easy to do. Like, you see, I have plenty of leeway left to destroy that last phantom. And if you dealt with all the phantoms like I did, then this screen's really easy, and you only have to deal with
It's charging its excavation beam.
2 shade
The
turrets.
dig site's on the other side of the city.
All the complaining that I've done about how bad Buck is as a gunner, that really only applies to legendary difficulty. On heroic and below, he's perfectly passable. In terms of, like, pure atmosphere, I really like this level a lot. I mentioned in the Halo 2 project that I always thought High Charity was the perfect level to showcase how strong the Flood really is. I feel like this level is the perfect showcase of how powerful the Covenant actually is, and, like, how screwed humanity would have been without the Great Schism happening. The music in this level is also phenomenal. Anyway, so now that the Covenant have started glassing the city, the Covenant troops are in full retreat. There's a lot of brutes.
No! They're gonna burn this city and then glass the whole planet! Covenant bastards! It's just like Reach all over again!
Made it out of there. You make it out of here. You can do this, Buck.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So, there's a retreating crowd of brutes. The Covenant's ordered a full retreat.
Change your plans. You're coming to us.
Sky's kind of crowded, Gunny.
There's no other way. Covenant just waits at the highway. We're gonna keep rolling as far as we can. Get airborne, fly the Phantom to my beacon.
Understood.
Whatever you do, stay clear of that carrier.
Among the crowd is actually a war chieftain with a fuel rod gun, so you'll want to be careful of him. He's pretty easy to kill in a tank, though. There's also jetpack brutes, so you want to kind of hang back because they can actually hijack your Scorpion. But that screen's pretty easy to deal with. It's mostly cinematic, as is this one. There's some Covenant watchtowers here, but there's no more Covenant troops. They've all retreated. I guess not to sound too hopeless, but it's like we just fought our way through like a huge
Scarab! Look out! This one's onto us!
armada of Covenant, but like, look at all these scarabs, look at this assault carrier.
I can't stop.
Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Veronica! Talk to me!
Asset. It's all right.
Screw the alien, what about you?
This garbage truck has had it.
Take the next off-ramp. I see a building north side of the highway. We'll hold up there, wait for evac. Out of the vehicle, trooper! Let's go!
But, you know, maybe it doesn't have to matter. Maybe all that matters is that we get out of here alive.
Wait here! Rookie! Let's secure that building!
Alright. But all of that was child's play compared to this next objective. We gotta secure this building. This is the hardest thing you have to do in any Halo game. Alright, building secured. That was close.
Area secure! Veronica, come to us. We'll cover you.
Alright. You probably see why you don't give Veronica
Had to reroute, Gunny. The whole
the rocket
damn city's
launcher
on
initially.
Trooper, I have a Tier 1 asset and a whole bunch of Covenant that want it dead. Whatever you gotta do, step on it.
fire. Yes, ma'am.
Now you give Veronica the rocket launcher, so now you have an ally with a fuel rod and an ally with a rocket launcher, and then yourself. So you got some downtime here, but the Covenant are pretty quickly going to close in. They're making one last grab for the asset before the city gets glassed, basically. You can hear the engine of the Phantoms. Basically, this is the final segment of ODST. It's
Coming in!
probably appropriate. It's one extended firefight segment. You have 4 waves to deal with. First wave, brutes and grunts. You can come up here to an overwatch position with another sniper rifle. By the way, don't forget to reload the sniper rifle. I kind of forgot, because I kind of wasted that shot. This wave's pretty easy. The main threat is there's actually a brute captain with a fuel rod. I did say captain, not chieftain. Yeah, there's a brute captain with a fuel rod. You want to take care of him. He usually lands more towards the back. Once again, the engineer Virgil's vulnerable, but I mean, you have 2 invincible allies with power weapons and overshields. Like, the Covenant aren't getting through the front doors, so it's kind of pointless for you to be there. There's the guy with the fuel rod. It's kind of pointless for you to be there as well. It's better to like take a third position, especially one with an infinite ammo turret up here that you can use. You know, once you have sniped most of the brutes. But yeah, first wave, pretty easy. Second wave, quite a bit more difficult, and it'll come in just a minute once you kill the last enemy in the first wave. This one is nothing but Jackal, actually. It's a mix of shielded Jackals, Jackal marksmen, and Jackal snipers. That's right, yeah, Jackal snipers. There's this big crowd of Jackals that lands, and 3 of them are Jackal snipers. You want to try and pick off. I think I get one there, but then there's 2 that I miss. Lucky thing is they don't shoot at you right away. But they do kind of head straight to sniping positions that can be annoying later because you actually don't get a break in between the second and third wave. The third wave comes whether you're ready for it or not. And in this third wave are 2 hunters. That's right, they make you fight Jackal snipers and hunters at the same time. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Pretty easy to die there. But you can kind of hang to cover, try not to get distracted by all the explosions and gunfire, and remember that you only have to take out 3 Jackal snipers, so once they're dead, you can focus on the rest, including the hunters. I guess my only piece of advice would be that, you know, don't try and rush down there because you're worried about Virgil. Your allies do a pretty good job. protecting him with their power weapons. Honestly, you could kind of camp up there, but you do kind of have to be fast in this level to get the par score, so... don't rush, but take a sniping opportunity like that when you get one.
Nice work.
But after wave number 3, you do get
Didn't even break a sweat.
a small break in between wave number 4. Your sniper ammo should be running low by now, but you should have just enough to pick off a few enemies. And when wave 4 happens, some Covenant Wraiths set up on the highway. If you stay on the ground level, their Wraith mortars are basically harmless to you.
Wraiths on the highway.
That's not good.
They basically only blow you up if you're still on that sniper post. Although, try not to get too far to the left, because if you do, the Wraith gunners can actually start shooting you from the highway, and that can be bad. Anyway, probably fittingly, this is the final wave. This is the final challenge of ODST. It's a lot of jump pack brutes, but remember what I told you about the body shots with the jump pack brutes. There's a small group of regular brutes, and then as you saw falling out of the Phantom, there's one Hammer Chieftain, who I suppose you could call him like the final boss of ODST if you wanted. Now, there is one last trick you have up your sleeve that you can use if the brutes are kind of entrenched. There's a rocket launcher in here, a third one. You can use that if the brutes kind of take up a defensive position. You can use that to shatter their defenses like that. Once the last normal brute falls, the chieftain's going to charge on your position with his invincibility activated, so you want to keep your eye out for that. There he is. Now, remember, you can't outrun a chieftain in ODST, so you want to distract him with your allies or take some kind of evasive maneuver. But he should go down like all the rest. And then, once you see your teammates and the friendly Phantom over the horizon, you've done it. You have beaten Halo 3 ODST on Legendary.
Light him up, boys! Romeo, take the one on the left. I got it. We're steady.
Replacements. They make one hell of a team.
Just nice to know they really do listen. Come on, let's get out of this city.
And then to finish the level, just walk to the Phantom landing pad. Oh, and try not to let a Brute Chieftain get behind you. Never turn your back on a Brute Chieftain. But otherwise, that last part is pretty easy. Congratulations.
That thing's safe?
Long as it don't get hit.
Damn it! Move!
Wow, nuts. What can I say? Was a hell of a night.
Quip later! Quip later! There, as you can see, we definitely overshot the par score, and I even had 2 deaths along the way. If I can do it, you can do it too. There's a lot of misinformation floating about out there about how this level's impossible to get the par score on solo legendary. Not true at all. You know, you just keep trying, eventually you will get it. And you have beaten one of the hardest levels in Halo. Now all that's left is the ending, and then some credits. So I will see you then.
Easy does it.
went through hell for that?
Give him some meds, would you? It's important. It knows things.
Heck, honey. I wasn't talking about the alien.
Mickey, I'm sending you a very special co-pilot.
Oh, come on! I don't want one of those things in here.
It won't bite, and unlike you, it knows what to tell those cruisers to keep them off our tail.
I think they're too busy to care. Looks like they found what they're looking for.
What about you? What about us?
Win this war? Then ask me that again.
So, once again, 343 stupidly removed the original credits, so I had to add them back in. I had to find some dude's video and add them back in. So these aren't in the Master Chief release, but oh well. It's even weirder for this game and Reach, because those games are, like, downloadable DLC on the Master Chief collection, so they could have kept these credits in, probably. I heard the reason they removed all the credits was because of, like, spacing issues, because modern developers don't know how to optimize their games at all, but I don't know if that's true or not. Sorry, I should be actually talking about the game. ODST. So when this game came out, it was $40, which was a full-price game back then. No, I'm sorry, it was $60, which was a full-price game back then. Feels weird to say, because it feels like it's been $60 throughout most of my life. Oh well. Anyway, people did not like this game, you know. It felt like an expansion pack that was being charged full price, but that was charging $60 was very much Microsoft's decision, and me personally, I've gotten enough enjoyment out of Firefight and with friends and campaign to justify a $40 price tag, which is what Bungie wanted to charge for it. I don't know, it's definitely a different Halo game. There are definitely some flaws. I don't want to say it's false advertising, but if you look at the original trailer for ODST, it's very much Rookie sneaking around, like avoiding a squad of brutes. There's some of that, like in the last street segment, like without cheesing a rocket launcher into that final section. There's no way you're gonna fight those hunters and then the brute jumpers and then the brute chieftain with the ammo that you're given, but I kind of wish there was more of that. I wish the city was a little bit more varied, but you know, now that we've seen Halo Infinite, this game looks pretty good by comparison when it comes to open world design. No, the Rookie segments are pretty good. They could have been better, but like what we have is definitely probably the main draw of the game, and that's the part that people still talk about. That said, I feel like the daytime levels in this game are pretty underrated. Like, Tayari Plaza and Uplift Reserve are a bit mid, and I personally think Kazingo Boulevard is overrated. I don't like that level at all. But, you know, Oni Alpha Site, NMPD HQ, Data Hive, this level on any difficulty that isn't legendary, all fantastic levels. They don't really get talked about. The only problem with some of those levels is that they're too short. Like, I would have wanted NMPD HQ to be even longer, honestly. Like, the only reasonably linked levels in this game are Data Hive and Coastal Highway. What else is there to say? You know, music's great. This is probably the best work that Marty's ever done, Marty O'Donnell, the composer for Halo. Overall, this is probably my favorite Halo soundtrack, I'd say, as you can hear right now. Rookie's a good character, and obviously, I've made no secret that I really enjoy... Oh, hey, how topical. Sadie's story. I really enjoy the characters in the story and Sadie's story. I don't find any of the main ODST squad members super compelling. Dutch is okay. I might be biased on Mickey, because, like, he's constantly whining on that Kikawani station level, like, Buck, you gotta, Gunny, you gotta... So I might be biased there. Romeo's kind of funny, I guess, but, like, you know, that's all he is. He's, like, the funny one. I never found the main ODST squad all that compelling, and, you know, the Oliphant in the room, Dare, and Buck's, you know, stupid romance side plot is a big tumor on an otherwise pretty decent game. I have no idea what Bungie was thinking with that. But, you know, this was when, like, Nathan Fillion, like, Uncharted was really big, so they were probably, like, trying to channel Uncharted a little bit. And, you know, I don't even like the romance in that game, so, you know, definitely don't want that in Halo. Not that I'm, like, opposed to romance as, like, a concept, or, like, in a story. You know, any of my friends who know anything about me know that I'm a big Fire Emblem head. It's probably neither here nor there. I just don't think, like, a really cliche, like, Uncharted 2009 love story really had a place in Halo, and it does detract from the game. I'm a bigger fan of the squad that you get in Reach when we get to that. So I do think Bungie learned their lesson to kind of tone down, like, the wacky, quippy Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, kind of snarky kind of thing, which I appreciate, because, you know, going back in hindsight, I do like the daytime levels a lot, but definitely prefer the atmosphere of the rookie levels. I guess overall, in conclusion, what I would say is this game is very good overall. It could have been better, probably, if they had stuck to their original vision, but I think what we got, definitely, I would have paid $40 for this at launch without even hesitating, and it's only $5 now if you have the Master Chief Collection. Definitely worth a purchase. Definitely worth a revisit in 2026. But stay tuned after those credits, because if you beat the game on Legendary, there is actually a Legendary exclusive epilogue. I'll let you watch that, and then, well, I'll see you next project.
Lord Hood may have given you clearance, but it was my op and it's my interrogation. We only captured one. It's very delicate.
Don't worry. I know what the alien's like. It has access to the Covenant BattleNet?
Limited, but yes. We're not entirely sure how it manages a remote connection to the... What?
Whoa, stand down! Stand down!
Sergeant Major, please. It's extremely flammable.
The brutes. The bastards who put bombs on your buddies and killed millions of my people. They're digging a mighty big hole. You're gonna tell me exactly what they're looking for, and then you're gonna help me stop them.
What can I say? Was a hell of